company that's like close to being a fascist, and then like.
Okay. Well, how am I?
Sorry.
Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
Dude, like you.
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
You believe that like you on.
Don't boo. Let him think.
But
I'm such a bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay.
I'm an awful fascist.
When delusional woke people think they have it all figured out, they are humbled and left speechless. Watch the best or worst moments where wokeness meets its match.
Today I had 25 students. By day 2, I had 19 because 6 parents switched out of the class because they saw me.
4 days until Pride Month and our amazing Pride event with the Mill Valley District.
And they were like, there's no freaking way, before I even got a word in.
I myself, as a non-binary individual, do not identify as transgender.
Do I think that it is okay for a parent to see me and go, not around my kid? No, I don't think that's okay.
Not only am I wearing makeup, but I got a t-shirt from downstairs. It's a crop top. You can't dress code me because I'm the teacher.
I feel like that's really crossing the line because you are, for lack of better words, discriminating against me openly. That's like seeing a black teacher and being like, there's no way. It is the same. It is the same.
You're perfect, honey. Hope this helps.
It's still the right of the parent to make that decision as to whether or not they want their child to learn from you.
Okay.
Like, it's still that parent's right. Like, you can disagree with their motivations, their motives, their ideas,
Would you say
but
that
it's still their child.
When you build your entire argument on feels and someone brings out cold, hard logic, what was she expecting? If I were a parent, I'd do the same.
And then you expect your dude to respect you and not follow other women? You're delusional. Bitch, you are undressing in front of a bunch of men all over the world. How dare you have that even remotely double standard that your guy can't do what you're already doing? You can't be an OnlyFans model and then say you're a monogamist. There's just no way.
I mean, if you're not just sleeping with anybody else and you're not meeting up with anybody else,
You're sharing your body and these personal things that should be only reserved for the person that you're with or married to. If you're married and you're an OnlyFans model and you're sharing your body on the internet and I can pay to see your vagina hole, you are not a monogamous woman. I'm sorry. You're showing your private parts to other people who are not your husband. Because when you take that vow, when you get married, you're vowing to be for that other person and only for that other person.
They are only fan models and they claim to be monogamous adult content creators. So much for a monogamous woman. This one is a brain buster.
I lack the ability to fully act human because since I spawned in this human body, I have not been able to access the internet and download new ways of acting. I have transcripts for every way of acting and reacting to different things, and I lack new ones due to not being able to connect to the internet anymore. So I cannot always react accordingly to new things, because I cannot look it up anymore and do not know how to act and react.
Hold up, let's get this right. She identifies as an android robot and can't access the internet, but she can film a video and post it on social media. That's some dumb comedy there.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself
Cis men
whatever you
don't
want.
menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body
if
menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not men.
excluding a whole group of people
They're
here
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an
The
example
science.
when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely
They
different
are
things.
completely different.
Completely different words.
Sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up.
Since when did men start menstruation? These wokies are just delusional. They constantly need to be humbled.
And said, Chase, would you rather smash the hottest trans woman in the world or the oldest woman in the world? Honestly, bro, the oldest woman in the world, because then I wouldn't be gay. Are you like, Chase, how dare you be transphobic?
Yes, actually, what the f do you mean?
Because if I had sex with a trans woman, I'd be having sex with a biological man, and I don't want to do that. Because I'd be gay if I had sex with a biological man.
That's not gay.
That's
And
gay.
I don't even catch up the f actually.
I'm
Why is that going to be a bar at all? she's right. I mean, that's really hateful, bro.
She's not.
What then is gay? What then is transgender? She had nothing else to say. She had to walk away. She couldn't handle the bullets.
Trans people, and it says, at the end of the film, there's no long-term studies of transition regret, but from what we do have, 99% of trans people do not go on to regret their transition, right?
Do you know who that study was done by?
I don't remember, and
So his name is Dr. Jack Turbin, and he's actually funded by AbbVie. AbbVie is a pharmaceutical company that gives money or does create cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. Jack Turbin is essentially paid by people who benefit from you being on cross-sex hormones. And so he's the one that's put that study out, and he's the one that's given you that statistic. So it's not to say that I'm not negating who you are or who you believe you are, but that's not a true statistic.
I'm concerned about how silly these woke people are. They all have one thing in common, arguing blindly.
What formal education do you have?
Plenty.
I mean, formal education. There's
If you're going to argue from authority, that's a logical fallacy. Tell me why I'm wrong. Don't tell me how many degrees you have.
Don't ask me to change the conversation.
I'm actually, I would argue I'm more informed because I didn't go to college, and I've traveled the world, and I've met with world leaders, and I've read many books. So tell me,
a lot of minorities that you've met around the world.
how am I oppressive? Can you name one example of how I'm oppressive?
I can name a lot of examples.
Can you name one? Name one example of how I'm oppressive, because you just said it.
Literally here telling people that they are wrong about views and their...
Well, no, they just don't have facts. Can you tell me one time that I've been wrong about anything I've said?
I had no idea. Thank you for informing me.
Anytime. Maybe if you didn't go to college, you would learn more.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right.
He's confusing education for intelligence. Well, with all his degrees, he's still a funny idiot.
So yesterday, a lady that was involved in a car crash, actually linked to one of my circle of friends, she died because an ambulance couldn't get through because your protesters, Just Stop Oil, were blocking the road and the ambulance couldn't get through in time. She couldn't get the help she needed and she died. Earlier you said that you are a peaceful protester. My friend is dead. How do you answer that?
We have a blue light policy, which means whenever we have roadblocks, as soon as we hear sirens, we see the blue lights, people move out of the way. Even when people are gluing in the road, there's always one lane that is kept clear so that people can move out of the way. And we have never had any complaints from either ambulances, fire brigade, or any other emergency services.
The video footage exists, and the lady can't complain now because she's dead. Let me ask you another question, Phoebe. Let me ask you, what bills do you currently pay? Who pays for your accommodation at university?
My student loan.
Well, have you ever paid any bills in your lifetime?
No.
So you don't know what it's like to be a homeowner and not to be able to afford your energy bills, and then see some stupid young people throwing soup over a painting in a gallery that has nothing to do with the fact they can't afford to pay their bills. You don't know what it's like to pay a bill, Phoebe, do you?
No, but I have empathy for those people.
What do you understand about an ordinary family who can't afford to pay their fuel bills, who needs ordinary fuel to be delivered, but because of green taxation, their bills are now so expensive they can't afford them? And if we stop oil, how much more expensive do you think fuel's going to be, Phoebe? Or is it that you just spouting out words that you and your friend think look good? How is it related to stopping oil to throw soup over a painting in a gallery? How is that related? How is it helping the poorest people in my country?
Stupid young children indeed. How can oil be stopped? If their stupidity is moving from making us laugh to causing the deaths of people, then it should be looked at. She was left speechless.
Your team, Francesca, yes or no?
Yes, yes, right now. Hell yeah, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Messi on the U.S. women's national team? Hell yeah.
Would you
because
allow
that would
Usain
mean...
Bolt to do that and be in the sprinting
Yes,
team?
because that would mean they're a trans woman. They identify as women.
I get it. So just to be clear, you'd let Lionel Messi play in the women's national football team and destroy women's football forever. You'd let Usain Bolt...
I mean, it'd be very difficult to get a ticket, which would suck.
I want to do a little checklist here. You'd let Usain Bolt compete as a sprinter in the American women's Olympic team?
Yes.
Okay. You would let Floyd Mayweather compete as a boxer in the women's American boxing team?
Yeah,
you
of
are
course
a
you have to be,
complete
like, the
and utter
heavyweight, no.
lunatic.
I completely agree with I agree with Francesca, and I go
They
further.
would
Actually,
have
Piers,
to
you always
transition.
you always say that you want to be a penguin. I would let you live at London Zoo in a cage like the rest of the penguins.
You know what? I'd be a very popular exhibit.
You would. And you'd be locked up.
Esther, here's the
Be
problem.
great for the rest
It
of
is
the world.
so delusional. The idea you would let Usain Bolt say, I'm a woman, and compete against women on a racetrack when no man can compete with him, right? It's utterly ridiculous.
Well, I'm just convinced that they don't actually believe this, but to the logical conclusion of their ludicrous arguments facilitates the need to actually say these things. Also, this is a testament to the poor quality of public education in both the US and the UK, that you both don't understand the basic economics of how sports entertainment works.
Yeah.
If there are not enough bums on seats, you don't get paid enough. That's literally it.
That's it.
So sitting there outraged about the fact that some female players don't make as much as some male athletes, guess what? Go and buy the tickets to their games and start boosting up their viewing figures, and then maybe we
Look at the numbers.
more views.
Look at the revenue for the Women's World Cup and compare it to the Men's World Cup. They are light years away.
Let's believe she didn't mean all the atrocious comments she made. If, for instance, I identify as a lion and put on a lion costume that makes me like one, should I be put in a lion's den? Just hilarious.
How did Obamacare destroy our healthcare system? More people.
You got an hour and a
have
half?
healthcare.
You got an hour and a half? Individual state exchanges, 28 medical excise taxes,
More
not
people
allowing
with
health
low
insurance
income
to be bought
have
across
healthcare now.
state
They don't have
lines.
to go to the
Bro, you just
emergency
love
room.
talking over women, don't you?
No, I like talking over you too, actually.
Well, I don't see any lies being told, so I approve of this message.
There's 10 billion people on Earth, and Elon Musk has $200 billion. Can't he just give each person $1 billion? And here's the twist. He will still have $190 billion left over. Isn't that concerning?
This is what happens when you forget basic mathematics and chase after gender studies and critical race theory. This is an adult woman. Absolutely embarrassing.
Yo, bro, you ever seen an NYPD turban, son? Yo, that's the first time my man got a turban NYPD.
If you knew your culture, you know that's not a fucking turban.
What is it? What is it?
You gonna ask me what?
Yeah, I'm asking you, what is it?
Look it up.
What is that, bro? It's a turban, right? What a fucking idiot! It's always these guys.
And we definitely know who he meant when he said these guys. They police culture, police pronouns, police white people, police costumes, police the police, and now they are policing turbans. That's a really nice car. I'm sure he can cover whatever lawsuit if he crushed that thing's foot.
So let's say you own a pencil factory, I'm a worker in that pencil factory. You can have all the machinery, you can buy all the raw materials you want, but without me, and presumably many others like me, to assemble the pencils, all you would have is a pile of wood, yellow paint, graphite, rubber, and aluminum.
Okay.
That would be worth, and that is worth less than the pencil when you try and sell it. And yet, all of that value added by labor, apart from the wages that you give me, which if we're being honest, there is a major power imbalance in our ability to negotiate that.
If all that putting the pencil together requires is basic use of your prefrontal cortex, then yes, your labor is alienable at lower rates than if you are a doctor. That's not the fault of the person who owns the machinery.
But if you didn't have workers like me and your pencil factory and you were just one man.
But I have millions of people who are willing to do that voluntarily for me.
Socialists give me a headache. They really love handouts. If possible, they'd use GoFundMe as their source of income.
To the place right now, if you vote Democrat, I don't even want you around this church. You can get out. You can get out, you demon. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. I don't care how mad that makes you. You get pissed off as you want to. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. They are God-denying demons. They hate this nation. Get mad all you want to. I don't care if you stand. I don't care if you throw tomatoes, praise God. I'm about to throw a microphone up in his house. CNN can eat my dirty socks. You cannot be a Democrat and a Christian. You cannot.
Somebody say amen, amen.
Basically, what the
is going on? These guys are, this is not what we thought it was, girls. Like, they
don't
brought
speak
us
for
to
the
a
other
fight.
women. Don't speak for the other women.
I'm simply saying that was what it was invoked in me. And so
it's our fault you acted that way?
I believe you took a misstep in not properly vetting people who would have like PTSD symptoms, autism, different neurodivergences that would make a difference with how they're communicated
So just be clear, it's our fault you acted that way.
It is your fault for getting this deeply into personal topics with women and not vetting them psychologically.
You want me to do a psychological...
It could just literally be a couple questions. It could be like, do you have a history of PTSD, for example?
But then,
do
hold
you
on.
have
Wouldn't
any
that
mental
be-
disorders that are under
Brian
care?
wouldn't even be qualified to judge the measurement,
Where do these types of women even stem from? If you have a neurological hurdle that would make a debative podcast difficult, just don't sign up. How hard is that?
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, you know your identity. You're not confused. Congratulations, sweetheart. Thank you very much for your statement.
She was looking for an avenue to argue and fight, but she got embarrassed instead. She got shut up without the words being said.
What is a woman?
That's a stupid question, dude. That's a dumb question.
It can't answer what a woman is. It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Who identifies as a woman?
What is that thing? You can't answer the question with the question. Define woman without saying woman.
It's a social form. Doesn't even matter.
What is a woman? This is not a trick question, everybody. You're in college, paying for an education. What is a woman?
How about you talk to someone with media training?
You don't need media training. It's not a trick. What is a woman?
Who identifies as a woman?
You can't answer the question with the... It's like... What is a man? The college kids of America going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt who think it's a trick question when you ask them what a woman is.
The more they called him stupid, the more they sounded stupid. A woman is a social construct is an embarrassing definition for a college student.
World War III should break out. Should women get drafted?
No.
No.
Fuck feminism.
All y'all are saying
Feminism.
No.
What should we have to do? I will stay in the kitchen. I will stay in the kitchen.
When you stand for something, you should defend it to the core. Woke feminists, but you can't go to war. I thought women and men should have equal rights. The interviewer got them there.
This is a queer fat club.
I'm queer and fat.
Okay, thank you for joining. We're just introducing ourselves at the moment.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe?
Yeah, my name's Joe. I go by he, they, and I identify as 275 pounds.
Okay.
I feel like Jay's kind of making fun of me though. I know it's kind of a shock. I know. Kind of a new thing.
I'm just,
Do what?
I said I apologize.
Oh no, you're good.
Are you comfortable leaving the group at the moment?
Why?
I'm not understanding why you're joining the group.
This is the queer and fat group now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I came here for.
Okay. And you said you identify as fat?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just for fat-bodied people.
Yeah, I understand. I identify as a fat-bodied person.
I'm not understanding where you're coming from.
Are you guys comfortable with me here? I mean, I'm pretty chill on my end.
I'm not comfortable, no.
Absolutely brilliant and hilarious way to tell someone you're dumb. This illustrates the insane concept of identifying as.
I'm standing here now, a biological male, wearing a dress with a pair of leggings. When you harp on your right to distinguish between men and women, are you afraid that you're going to be attracted to trans women?
I'm not.
You sir? Are you positive? Why is it that you harp on your right to distinguish between men and women? If you can always tell, why is it so hard?
Well, because it's not even merely that you're putting on a dress, it's that you and people who identify as transgender are infringing upon rights and spaces that properly belong to women. So when you ask me, why do you care about this issue? The reason is because we live in society and we have political rights, and also because we care for the truth.
These people develop ways to mess up someone's head, but it doesn't work and has never worked. Great comeback from the professor.
What is a woman?
Identify themselves as a woman.
Anyone who wants to identify as a woman.
A woman is a biological female or someone who completely transitions into a woman.
Biological female, but I also agree because there's women, but there's also trans women.
A woman is an individual whose sex corresponds with that of the only sex which can produce offspring.
Socially, I think they can be. If you're presenting fully, it doesn't matter what's down there, that's, I guess, you and your partner's business, but if you're presenting fully, then...
Can you be a black man?
Can I?
Yeah.
No.
Can you center up a little?
Why not?
Because I'm not.
What if you present yourself as being one?
I mean, if I fully committed,
That
would just be blackface. Yeah, like if I literally could become one, sure. Like all I'm saying is that if.
What do you mean become one?
Okay, wait. What I'm saying is that if there is a person or a trans woman just going about their day, whatever, and you didn't know that they were a trans woman, I would say socially that they could be considered a woman just for the sake of just having it easy. I'm not gonna.
So if I showed up at a party and I pulled a rabbit out of a hat, does that mean that socially I could do magic, or would I just be presenting an illusion?
I think a little bit of both. If you could trick people, I'm not saying that it's not an illusion.
If you can trick people, right? If you can trick them, so it wouldn't change the fact of the matter. It would be a trick.
No,
So
correct.
if you presented yourself as a black man, would that be the fact of the matter, or would it be a trick?
It would, I guess, be a trick. I can't physically become a black man.
So then how come a man can physically become a woman ever, or a woman physically become a man?
I think surface level they can. Like they can.
Well, what does that mean, though? That just means that they're tricking you, right?
Yes, definitely. Just tricking
So
you.
what you're saying is that there are some people out there who can trick you into believing a thing which is not true.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then if that's the case, then I agree.
Okay.
This word I identify as shouldn't have been a trend. We have some global crises to solve in the word. Defining what a woman is just had to be added to it.
You believe that the Constitution's the best document in political history?
Greatest political document ever
There you
written.
go.
Thank you.
I want to know, how is it possible to believe that when it's based on racist principles? They describe indigenous peoples as merciless Indian savages, and they don't even recognize other people of color. I just want to know how you think it's possible to believe that's such a great document we're
Thank
founded
you for
upon.
the question. Where does it say that in the document?
What?
Where does it say what you said in the actual document?
I'm not entirely sure,
It
but...
doesn't.
No, it...
You know what it does say? Provide for the general welfare of all people. What you said is nowhere in the founding documents at all. What you said is what some of the prejudices that was in the people of the founding fathers. This is called a logical fallacy. Tell me why the document is not correct. Don't tell me the sins of the authors. It's a big difference.
So America's Constitution is based on racist principles. How in the world am I not aware of that? Please guys, don't forget to think before you speak in public spaces.
I'm actually a part of that organization that was going to come and try and derail you tonight. I didn't hear a single thing, though, that constituted an attack on queer or trans lives or an attack on me personally. So I don't know what they were on about there. Everything that you have said on gender identity, gender expression, John Money, pronoun usage, the sex sharing distinction, you are 100% correct.
Wow.
You are 100% correct. I don't know if you've ever heard that from a trans person before, and it is an absolute travesty that the trans community bases everything on such vacuous concepts. I don't agree with your conclusion, the model that you're postulating of gender. If this is the most dire issue of the age, do you really think that a method of simply recoursing to the most simplistic matter of approach is what we should be doing here?
Yes, the underlying fact, the underlying reality is simple. There are only males and females in the human race. There are no other categories. Do you agree that there are only males and females in the human race?
No.
What are the other categories if not male and female?
We are going to be here all night.
We're not, because there's none that you can list.
Bro, you just admitted that this whole trans thing is vacuous. It's basic biology. There are only male and female categories of gender in the human race. Well, at least he was honest.
Okay.
Biological, but gender is a completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So the idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. And I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be. If you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men, no, I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place?
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts.
Kids should be kids. They don't have issues with their genders, aka biological sex. If they do, perhaps what we should be examining is their mind and not their natural biology. Let Boy Scouts be Boy Scouts and Girl Guides be Girl Guides.
You create a company that's like close to being a fascist, and then
Okay. How am I?
Sorry.
Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
Dude, you.
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
You believe that you on. Oh, shit.
Don't boo. Let him think.
But
I'm such a bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay.
I'm an awful fascist. I'm more like a free speech liberal of the 1970s, not a fascist.
If you're going to accuse someone, the least you can do is get your facts straight, young man. Don't be ignorant.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body menstruated at
If
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not men.
excluding a whole group of
They're
people
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we just looking at the science of this as an
The
example
science.
when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things?
They're not completely different
They are
things.
completely different.
Completely different words.
Sex is what you're born with, the sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up.
What? Trans women can menstruate? Really? Do they have a uterus? Where does the blood come out from, the back or the front? I'm genuinely curious. Who came up with that crap? Oh wait, don't tell me you use surgeries and treatments to make that happen.
Let's just keep it real simple. Just 2 yes or no questions. Dr. Kumar, can biological men become pregnant and give birth?
So men can have pregnancies, especially trans men?
Can biological men become pregnant and give birth? So are you saying that a biological female who identifies as a man and therefore becomes pregnant is, quote, a man? Is that what you're saying?
These questions about who can become pregnant are really missing the point. I'm here to talk
No.
about
This is me asking a question and you answering. I'm asking the question, sir, not you.
Right, and I'm answering the question. Somebody with a uterus may have the capability of becoming pregnant, whether they're a woman or a man. That doesn't make a difference.
Okay, we're done.
Not
We're
every
done.
person with
This
a uterus
isn't complicated.
has the ability
Let me
to become
tell you,
pregnant.
if a person has
This
a
is
uterus
medicine.
and is born female, they are a woman. That is not a man, and the vast majority of the world considers that to be a woman because there are biological differences between men and women.
How is that young man allowed to be a doctor? The world is getting scary.
I was just going to ask if you see the irony in your own propaganda in the Constitution on your brainwash tour. Having the explanations here because you don't believe the reader is smart enough to understand the language is kind of propaganda.
Well, no, so do you know who that audience is for?
For people who can't read it.
Yeah, that's a constitution for third graders.
Yeah, why are you handing it out to college students?
Let's test your knowledge. Don't open it up.
Right.
What is the 10th Amendment? Okay, let's get easier. What's the 4th Amendment?
Isn't that the No Quartering Act?
No, that's the 3rd Amendment. How many articles are there in the U.S. Constitution?
There's 8 articles.
7.
7.
What is Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution?
I just want to ask
No,
you a
no,
question.
but I'm just saying,
So,
you
okay,
came
so-
here, guns
yeah.
a-blazing.
Yeah.
You do not know more than a 3rd grader about the U.S. Constitution.
If you don't see the article.
Yeah, I actually know it. You should keep.
Now ask him what a woman is and watch his wheels just explode. Is it propaganda to hand out a simplified form of the Constitution? What do you call poisoning the minds and bodies of children? What do you call taking parental rights from parents and handing it to 11-year-olds?
What is one thing that liberals can do that conservatives can't? They're really good at getting that septum pierced. That's what they can do. No way, you couldn't pay me to do that. One, it probably hurts, and two, it's ugly. Not with it. One more thing, they can make a dang good coffee. If my barista doesn't have purple hair, I don't want it.
They are really good at screaming gibberish that they can't back up. They have the greatest victim superpower in the world. They are the best at coming up with ridiculous names and terms. They are really good at racism. Undefeated. What else do you think they are good at? Leave it in the comments.
Gonna hope you respond in a way that's not so just conservative talking point and more of a conversation way.
Sure.
Okay. You were talking about how historically Native Americans have been kind of like screwed over by the US government. Don't you think that history will make it more difficult to succeed in America?
We've made tremendous accommodations, such as sovereignty of Native American land, an entire department of the federal government dedicated just solely to that.
I recognize those efforts, but obviously they haven't worked.
So why haven't they worked?
Like, we need to treat it more as an equity thing and change it societally.
So you do know that there's universal health care at Native American reservations, right?
Yeah, but it's not very good.
Because it's socialistic.
No.
Look, I think the best way to help Native American communities is to help all people through empowerment and education. Instead, we tried a heavy-handed government approach. And if you want to go see a socialist dystopia, go to a Native American reservation.
We always have the same arguments, but somehow these people never actually learn anything. They just keep talking. Conservative talking point when all you say is liberal pamphlet headings.
I have a friend who has a trans kid. He's explained that, my child from a very young age consistently said, I am a girl, never changed their mind. And so the humane thing and the thing that he felt was good to do as a parent was to embrace that choice. I shouldn't even phrase it as a choice, embrace that identity.
But it is a choice, right? You're choosing to add hormones to a child's body.
It's a choice it's a choice on the part of the parent.
Okay, but if that's who they are, if they think that they're a girl, why do you have to give them hormones to make them more of a girl?
Because I'm sorry, can you expand on the question?
It's a simple question. If the child thinks it's a girl, let it be a girl. Why are you adding hormones? You're choosing to inject things into this child's body on a regular basis that are going to radically affect the physical development of their body.
Yeah.
And you're saying that this isn't a choice. Well, it's definitely a choice to do that.
It's such a simple question. Let's be clear. Those parents didn't have a trans child. They had a confused child and they created a trans child out of that confusion.
In your court, what matters more? The rights of individuals or your political ideology?
I apply the law to the facts.
I asked a question, which matters more?
My political ideology doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so I don't believe you. And I think this case demonstrates that you are willing to subjugate the rights of individuals to satisfy your political ideology. This case involves a male defendant who raped a 9-year-old boy. Was he guilty of that?
Yes, the petitioner pled guilty to that.
Okay, so he raped a 9-year-old boy. He also raped a 17-year-old girl. Was he guilty of that?
He pled guilty. The petitioner pled guilty to that crime as well.
So was he guilty?
I hope so, because she pled guilty to it.
He was a he when he did this.
That's correct.
And also criminal deviant conduct, which the record doesn't disclose what that was exactly. Then, after serving in prison, Mr. McLean was released for parole, but then violated the terms of parole by having internet and was sent back to prison. 1 year after being released again, he was convicted of having child pornography. Is that correct?
I'm unclear on exactly the time frame that you're at, but the petitioner was convicted of distributing child pornography.
Child pornography that was images of adults violently raping children.
Abhorrent conduct.
Okay.
For which there are real victims.
And this individual, 6'2", biologically a man. A minute ago you said that when this man decided that he was a she, you said this individual was, quote, I wrote it down, sober and entirely a female. That phrase struck me as remarkable. Did this individual have male genitalia?
I think what I said, or at least what
That is a verbatim quote, entirely a female.
Sorry, what I meant to say was hormonally a female.
Okay, but that's not entirely. Did this individual have male genitalia?
Yes.
So you took a 6'2" serial rapist, serial child rapist with male genitalia, and he said, you know, I'd like to be in a women's prison. And your answer was, that sounds great to me. Let me ask you something. The other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Is that a question you're asking me?
Yes, the other women in that prison, do they have any rights?
Of course.
Do they have the right not to have a 6'2" man who is a repeat serial rapist put in as their cellmate?
Senator Cruz, I considered the facts presented to me, and I reached a decision
I asked you a
based on what
question.
the law
I asked you a question. Do they have a right not to have a 6'2" man who is a serial rapist put in as their cellmate? Do those women have a right to that?
Every person who's incarcerated has the right to be safe in their space.
But you didn't think so. You didn't think so. And in fact, I'm going to give some quotes from your order because Senator Kennedy is right. This is not a judge's order. This is a political activist. By the way, the beginning of your order says, at birth, people are typically assigned a gender. I got to say that would astonish a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans think you go to the hospital, a baby is born, and congratulations, you have a little boy, a little girl. The assigned a gender, I know you went to Brown, but it sounds like it's in a college faculty lounge with no bearing on reality. The Bureau of Prison argued what I'm saying right now, that if you put this person in a female prison, there will be a risk of sexual assault to the women. And you know what you did? You said you didn't care about the women. I'm going to quote what you wrote. You wrote, quote,
This woke female judge is so impressive, who in their right mind makes a ruling to put a male serial rapist in the same prison cell as women?
So the Taliban believes it's okay to rape 8-year-old boys. Are they wrong?
To me, yes, they are wrong, but to themselves, they think it's right.
Are they objectively wrong?
To me, they're wrong. To them, they're right.
When somebody goes and rapes a woman here on campus, are they wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Because that is something you should not do.
You didn't do a should statement with the Taliban with little boys. What are you comparing should to?
Myself.
So it's your morality that triumphs over any objective laws.
It's my world. What I think is good is what I think is good.
And that's one of the most narcissistic things.
Yes, it is. I'm a narcissist. So you say there is an objective good and an objective
Of course there is. None of this matters if we don't first acknowledge something outside of our cell.
I rely on the community around me.
If you rely on the community, then in Nazi Germany, you'd be running trains to the concentration camps, right?
That's what people were doing.
That was wrong.
It was.
Okay. The question is, what's going to prevent us from doing that again?
Standards is something impossible to reach.
Is it impossible, or is it necessary to set for us to strive as close as possible to?
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's a good idea.
The future looks very scary. What do you mean when you say, to them they were right? Psychopaths think they are right, so are they actually right? Can you choose whose scholarship your taxes go to? This young man is a waste of money.
All of us, no matter what we do, we're raised in the United States, which fundamentally from its founding, racism's been part of our country.
So you are a racist?
No, I'm an anti-racist. I'm an active anti-racist.
But you say you have something in you against black people.
Yeah, we all do.
What do you have against black people?
Nothing that I could ever put my finger on.
How do you know you have it then if you can't put your finger on it?
Because I think it exists in all of us. It's what growing up in America is. Do I think black people can be racist? No.
You don't think black people can be racist?
Can they be prejudiced and biased? Yes. Racism is about power, and you need to have power in order to be racist.
One last thing then about that. Is Obama and Oprah and Bill Cosby, are those people racist? They have power.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
But they have power. You say you have to have power. Are they racist?
No, because honestly, even if the president is black, that doesn't mean that we don't have racism in our country.
But in order to be a racist, you got to have power. And Obama doesn't have real power.
No. I'm sorry.
You hear something new and more ridiculous every day, don't you? Where do these things even come from?
But don't you think that there's a reason that a lot of the black community doesn't have a father, and it's because of systemic racism. It's because black men are more likely to be in prison.
Oh yeah, so why do people go to prison?
For a lot of the time it's because they're in poverty and they have no other.
So they commit crimes.
Because
Yeah, but so wait, Wait, so wait.
Why do they
So wait, if you're
commit crimes?
So in poverty, we should give excuses for committing crime?
Yes, because if they have no
like murder?
I did not say murder. I'm saying like if someone is stealing something because they have no money and there's no jobs.
That's so interesting. So you think most crimes are crimes of necessity in the black community?
I'm not saying most.
So like gangbanging is like a crime of necessity?
That I literally never said that. I'm saying
But
like
you're making an argument of crimes of necessity. Like they're so hungry they can't handle it. So these are a lot of probablys. I don't believe you, but I'm talking about laws, right? So what in the legal code of America can you as a white individual do that the black individual can't? Because systemic means it's in our code, right? It's like, for example, like Jim Crow, totally get it. That's systemic racism. What is systemically your advantage?
Maybe like housing codes, because I know redlining isn't a thing anymore, but there is isn't there people who are white are more likely to be given loans because of like they have less I don't know, that's just it's back from redlining, like it's a lot of the same stuff.
So loans are now given favorably to black Americans in certain cities over white Americans. You're making excuses for criminals.
Yeah,
and what an insult to poor immigrants that came to this country that didn't commit crimes and worked 2 or 3 jobs and worked themselves out of poverty and didn't decide to go deal coke.
Well, my father is a white immigrant from Poland and he committed crimes and he's fine now. So
did he go to jail?
Yeah, he did.
I thought there was systemic racism. I thought that doesn't happen very much.
I expected her to say her dad getting imprisoned was prejudice against immigrants or something. Well, at least she's not that delusional.
This is what makes us different. As a conservative, I focus on if you have family breakdown, don't worry about climate change, don't worry about systemic racism. All that stuff is like these crazy abstractions.
What do you think create family problems? Systemic racism creates family problems. If you take away black people from their families, then they're going to have broken families.
Okay, but that's interesting. How are you taking them away? Aren't they leaving?
I take that back. She is very delusional. Are black men being snatched from their women? I think she thinks this is the era.
I don't hate liberals. I feel sad for them that they're mentally challenged.
He did that. Mentally challenged indeed.
It makes me happier than when new pronouns drop, new ways to mangle the English language and beclown yourself. So strap yourselves in for this pronoun extravaganza. I can guarantee even your non-binary greenhead cousin from Seattle hasn't heard some of these.
So this is a video for neopronoun users to duet. Or if you're considering neopronouns for yourself, maybe even try a blind react. However, safety first. Before you do either of those things, make sure you're in a mental state where if you do get misgendered, you will be okay. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. Do you see this person next to me? E is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know that Thon is valid, that verb pronouns are valid, and that Sarah identity is valid. I wish Void all the best, and look forward to maybe even seeing some of their lovely content someday. Please, treat them with respect, and I'm sure A will respect you too. So how did that feel? Are there any neopronouns that stuck out to you that you might want to use for yourself? Good luck on your pronoun journey.
How did that feel? I don't know. I feel like I lost 20 IQ points. That's how I feel. And while we are losing IQ points at a rapid rate, let's check in with the Veep. Take it away, Kamala.
20 IQ points is low for that confusing speech. 80 IQ points are just perfect. We are indeed losing IQ points at a rapid rate.
Anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with it.
Just literally put the hand up and say I'm a woman.
But it's not an easy thing to do, to go out into the world.
It's
very easy.
Very easy.
You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say what this does is doing who, it involve? Whatever that person decides, but to go out into the world and say I don't identify as perhaps the sex I was
So why
born
can't
as.
I identify? Okay, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I on International Women's Day say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
How can anyone defend this silly idea? Since we can identify as anything, well, I identify as a pizza and maybe ice cream. Very funny.
Hey, I really wanted to thank you for coming out today and specifically for talking to those who have different viewpoints than your own. I'm not looking to argue with you, I just want to know about the ideology as to why you think that a woman shouldn't have the right to her own bodily autonomy in regards to abortion.
A woman should have the right to her own bodily autonomy but not to kill another human.
You know, but as far as the idea that I'm like sitting awake at night thinking, how do I control women's bodies? No, not really, not at all, actually. The thing that I do care about is the preservation of human lives. I don't have an argument that pro-choicers are ignoring a premise. That's fine. You're allowed to ignore a premise or think a premise that I'm giving is wrong. Well, it turns out that the vast majority of women for literally all of human existence have engaged in childbearing and rearing, and it has not, in fact, ruined their lives. In fact, married women with children are, by poll data, the happiest women in America.
All right, thank you for the straw man fallacy. Thank you.
I missed what she actually said. What was it? Straw man?
Straw man fallacy, I think.
You can't just shout straw man and run away. Do you want to come back and explain why it was a straw man, or no?
She knew she couldn't stand a chance, so she said a terrible line and ran away. She could have said, I can't argue with you, instead of, I don't want to argue with you. She probably just learnt the word and was looking for how to use it in a sentence.
Am I the only one whose narcissistic parent would show up to every single event I was ever involved in? This is one of those weird ones where I always felt like speaking about this behavior negatively could be perceived in the wrong way, like my parent was just being supportive, and how lucky was I to have a parent who always showed up. Boo-hoo, your parent was there for you. But did you also feel like sometimes it was a bit excessive, especially if it was a bit more of a repetitive thing where maybe I was doing the same thing on multiple days in a row? Like, you do not have to attend every one. And what makes this lean more towards the negative, in my opinion, in terms of behavior, is that if I ever didn't want them to show up to every single showing of something, that was considered to be disrespectful. It was very much that taking me out of school for lunch, sort of picking me up and dropping me off everywhere I went energy, where on the surface it seems very convenient, very thoughtful even, but it's a pattern of controlling behavior, I think, for narcissistic parents.
Calling your parents disrespectful and narcissistic because they have been very supportive, showing up to your events, dropping you off school, and all is wild. She said it's a controlling behavior pattern. Her behavior needs to be controlled.
Professor Goodwin, help me understand your point of view. I think this is a yes or no question. Do you support it being legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth?
Senator Kennedy, it is not a yes or no question. I support women like Ms. Zarowski. Women across this...
No, ma'am, I don't... I think it is a yes or no question.
No, well, let me answer.
If there were a law that's... I'm just trying to understand your perspective, and I'm not accusing you of this.
Of course not.
But you know, people sort of talk around this issue. If there were a bill that said that a woman has an unfettered right to abort an unborn baby for any reason up to the moment of birth, would you vote yes or would you vote no?
Senator Kennedy, I refuse to be shackled by your question. What I have answered is that there are conditions that occur
you don't know
during
whether
pregnancy.
You would vote yes or no?
There are conditions during pregnancy that mean after 10 weeks, 14 weeks,
I said
20 weeks,
discretion.
24 weeks,
you
conditions
would
such as Ms.
support,
Zarowski.
you're here advocating.
I would support her life.
I
would support her
too,
personhood.
But you're advocating a law.
I support her personhood.
You're advocating a law that says that an unborn baby can be aborted up to the moment of birth for any reason, are you not?
Why is she tongue-tied? Was that so hard to answer? Should I kill an unborn child? Yes or number?
It's okay if you're proud of your sexuality, but why do I have to be proud of your sexuality? That's where you lost a lot of folks, and we're starting to finally stand
firstly,
up
I'll say Dylan is a trans woman. Dylan is a woman, so you got that wrong. And secondly,
well, Dylan was a gay man until last year. Dylan was a gay man until last year.
They've transitioned. They're a woman. I think that we lost people right at the beginning when gay people were dying in the streets because no one was looking out for us. So actually, what we're doing right now is just—I wouldn't even use the word celebrating. I think think pride is a protest.
Is it a bit too much? In other words, do you want to...
What does that mean? What is too much?
In other words, I think with every campaign, bringing people with you is really important, right? The moment it looks like it's just over the top, like it's everywhere you go is pride, 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 pride. Do we need to be that exuberant about it?
Are you blaming gay people for that? I mean,
no.
I thought the companies...
Honestly, I don't care what sexuality anybody is. I don't think most people do anymore.
Right, so what is the problem then? Why are you so triggered by a flag?
I'll tell you what
rainbow
problem.
flag. You mentioned Regent Street.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag.
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight everywhere?
Where's my straight flag?
Why am I constantly getting
Where is my straight flag?
Why are straight people holding hands in the street?
When have you ever seen a straight flag?
Why has Mickey Mouse got a
Tell
girlfriend?
me one straight flag hanging right now anywhere in the world.
Why are straight people
Where is the straight flag?
Identity
Where's the straight flag?
Everywhere.
Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
It's never been a straight flag.
You're a straight flag.
If there's a straight flag, then I want one too. I want to put it in everyone's faces and celebrate it for a whole month every year as well. Wouldn't that be fair?
So I recently told my parents that I may be a little bit romantically interested in women. And that was a big shock for them considering the past 10 years of coming out as gay, then queer, then non-binary, then trans. And I think it was just a bit of a shock. So I tell my dad and he goes, well, I would love to see you get a woman pregnant. And I said, oh, no, she would be getting me pregnant. And then he said, what, do you have a vagina now? And I said, never say never. And then I tell my mom, and she goes, I would just love to see you own property one day. And in California, that's sort of, a parent's dream. It's not having kids or getting married. It's are you able to own a house? Wouldn't that be nice?
At this point, I gotta ask if he is high or if he has a mental condition. While I'm genuinely sorry for his parents, this dude has to get a hold of himself because he can't be everything.
Are trans women women?
Yes.
Why are they women?
Because they want to be. I think that people can do whatever they want to be. People can be whatever they want to be.
Does that make it true, though?
I think in the terms of being trans, yes, it does.
If trans women are women, then what is a woman?
I think a woman is someone who feels like a woman.
What does a woman feel like?
Well, I don't think you would know. I know that I feel like a woman.
Because you are a woman.
Yes, exactly. You wouldn't know what it feels like to be a woman.
But how would a trans woman know what it feels like to be a woman?
Because they wouldn't feel like you, they would feel like me. You can't understand the difference unless you are.
But how would a biological man that identifies as a woman know that they are a woman?
Because they would feel like a woman.
What does feeling like a woman feel like?
They would feel like they're in the wrong body. They wouldn't feel like they wouldn't feel correct in who they are.
But if they feel like they're in the wrong body, does that mean that they are a woman?
Guys, if I feel like I'm a white cat, then am I a white cat? Wait a minute, how does it even feel to be a white cat?
I know it's a gimmick, and I know you're trolling, but how long do you think you can do this for, dude?
Well, it's not a bit for me. It may have been a bit for you, but for me, it's how I feel.
Josh, you're lying! You know, what did your parents say about this? Are you close with them?
Here we go, CSI. I'm close with some family members, yeah.
Do you not feel any sort of, guilt to them?
I'm just living my authentic truth, and...
Come on, Josh! Show me too! Quit playing with me! I'm the pimp on a blimp, Josh! This is a gimmick! This is like professional wrestling! Sorry, I'm not trying to yell at a beautiful lady like you, but what is the end game for this? Are you trying to get on Bud Light sponsorship? I mean, what is your goal with all of this?
Well, I'm just living my authentic truth. So, your journey's your journey, my journey's my journey. And people are allowed to think what they want about my journey. Many people are very vocal about it, but I'm just going to keep being me.
Josh, you're lying. You're trolling right now. I am a troll.
What is the authentic truth? There is a reason why the truth is called truth. I have to say, even Josh is now a beautiful lady. Ain't that great?
If we go to vote, we should have to show our IDs.
No.
Can you explain why?
Because we need all the voters that we can get. Hell, if it's a fake ID, we need it all.
Or did he drink something that we are not aware of?
The f***ing racist who does not have accurate statistics or facts. You are not a gender scientist. You cannot speak on that because you cannot understand.
What percentage of murders do blacks commit in America?
We shouldn't justify you being here by giving you an audience. You do not speak accurate facts.
What have I said that's not factual or not true or anything that I've said that's racist? Name one thing.
Yeah.
Black people are 13% of the population and they commit 50% of the murders. You can look it up.
Over-policed.
Wait, you.
What's your source?
The FBI, the Department of Justice.
Moral lesson: if you are gonna come up to debate with someone, ensure you get your facts right. Last I checked, a debate is not a swearing match.
Them unconscious in different ways, and then they slit their throat to drain the blood out of them. So
after they don't feel pain.
But it's murder, right?
No.
Yes.
Murder.
Taking someone's life is murder. Wouldn't you agree?
I would not.
Wait. Just a moment. You think cows, pigs, chickens are an object? They're not someone.
I never said they were an object.
Well, you just said
they're
some
an animal. I never said they were someone.
You said they're not someone. They're something.
As a human, something.
No. Someone is any individual, whether it be a dog, a human, a cow, a chicken, or a pig. They all have a brain. They're all people.
Yeah, they're not people though.
Yeah, they are.
A people is a Homo sapien, a person.
It can be a person is any individual that is sentient.
First off, that costume of hers is funny, then a child trying to explain to a full-grown adult that a cow isn't a person is even more funny.
Let's use our quiet voices, please. Calm down. Stop acting like a child,
Now that's a great comeback. Act like a child and you'll be treated as one, or maybe they are children in an adult's body. Who knows?
Black people have rightly said they don't want to be referred to as the N-word. All decent people respect that wish and don't use language that minority communities find offensive. And I think that's simply what trans people are also asking. Clearly, as someone who grew up in the 1970s and saw the National Front march through immigrant areas using inflammatory language against black and Asian people, terrorizing those people, which did spill over into violence, attacks on Asian homes and shops, temples and mosques. I don't want to see a repeat of that.
Let's move this a little and say that the words he, him for a man are just the very ordinary words. They're not the equivalent of the N-word. I think the equivalent of the N-word would be, one of the reasons that we need free speech isn't just because we enjoy speaking or we want to say what our ideas are, important though that is. It is because we use language to write rules and laws. And if we are not able to call all male people male and all female people female, we cannot write rules that say all male people must stay out of this space. So if we give away words like he, him, male and man for people who are male and we start calling them she, her, female, woman, it becomes impossible to say, but you are not welcome here. And the thing is, we're back to the question of who can come into female-only spaces. I contend that only female people can come into female-only spaces. So I need to be able to call male people male in order to explain why they can't come in. This is just tautological. This isn't me trying to resurrect the N-word. Half of humanity is male. Half of humanity is he, him. These are not rude words.
These woke people compare very different entities and confuse themselves. He was left trying to find his words, totally humbled.
What do you think about white men?
I think it's just the term white man, just immediate turn off.
What do you think of black men?
Love.
Do you think it's racist to, by default, not like white men?
I mean, I don't think so, because I think there's a difference between like racism and that's an interesting question.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, because like, I mean, I don't dislike, but there is like nervous feeling. I don't know.
So if you met someone who said that they get nervous around black men and that they've had bad experiences with black men, would you still consider that racist?
Ooh, yeah, I see your point.
Whatever the wokies believe is right and makes her think. She doesn't question it or think about it, she just takes it. Isn't that just senseless? Well, legend has it that she's still gathering her word till now.
Feminist, and I don't hate men.
Okay, so you are a self-described feminist. What is a woman?
Why do you want to know?
I'm infinitely curious.
What's a man?
You're looking at one.
Why do you think that that's important to you, what a man and a woman is?
So
Do you
you
treat men
can't-
and women differently?
Well, it depends in what context, though. Politically, no. Under the law, no. Should they be treated differently in societal customs and norms? Yes.
Why?
Like, we should open doors for women. We should honor and protect women.
I
and-
want to honor and protect you, man.
Okay,
Aw,
great,
do you
thank
not
you.
honor and
Women are
protect
worthy
it?
of protection. Can you tell me what a woman is since you're a feminist?
You're saying these things because you're trying to get a gotcha.
You're
Okay,
a
so
feminist. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what a woman is?
I'm a feminist.
Isn't that probably
because
important to feminism?
A feminist claiming to protect the rights of women doesn't know the definition of a woman. You're standing for an idea, but you can't define the major factor of the idea. It's puzzling.
Women, period.
So you should respect women.
I'm sorry. I am a woman. Think so. I don't really have time for this. And I don't have time.
My
No,
mistake.
You're going to let me speak because here's my truth. I've been four
Privilege.
times. I've known women that have been multiple times gruesomely. And how dare you sit up here and try to say that women aren't worth respect? Fuck you.
What's your profanity? Didn't say that.
I am a woman. I just became a woman. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? People don't even respect me, period. And I'm already black, so it's just like, yeah, that already goes against me anyways. But still, you piece of living garbage ass dumpster fire trash gum on the bottom of my shoe. Oh my god, I wish I had a tissue for the blood. I would
Might I suggest it's your behavior, not because you're black.
Insults after being humbled is what they know how to do best. His character is told off and he goes, "Respect women, I just became a woman." How amusing.
What do you think about white men?
I think it's just the term white man, just immediate turn off.
What do you think of black men?
Love.
Do you think it's racist to, by default, not like white men?
I mean, I don't think so because I think there's a difference between like racism and that's an interesting question.
There's been a connection problem between the mouth and the brain of the speaker. Please try again later.
I've seen this one YouTube thumbnail that says Charlie Kirk believes that TikTok is turning children trans. Do you agree with the statement?
TikTok is playing a role in making them think that they might have gender identification issues. This is Chloe Cole. She's a detransitioner.
In my experience, I learned about transgenderism through the internet at roughly about the age of 11 or 12. And I mean, it captivated me. I had body image issues, and it felt like I found the explanation for as to why I felt so different from the women around me.
Social media in general led you to believe the wrong idea, and that in turn what made you go down a path that maybe wasn't right for you.
I mean, it's beyond not right for me. This has left permanent effects on my body. I might not be able to have children. I have complications from the puberty blockers, the testosterone, and the surgery.
That's
3
correct.
years after I've stopped taking all of them.
I'm very suspicious about, okay, I'd like to say that you're wrong about trans people being indoctrinated.
I mean, I've met hundreds of other detransitioners, some even younger than I was, and have come out of it with
Claim that conservatives can't speak for certain groups of people. They can't speak for trans people, can't speak for black people, and must not even whisper for women who choose abortion. But when members of these groups speak up, you don't want to hear it.
Do you see this person next to me? E is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know that Thon is valid.
Shut up, you know what you sound like? You sound like a DJ.
It's DJ Delusional Wokey. Make some noise.
Identify as a non-binary lesbian. People, actually do accept
I thought lesbians were women attracted to women. How are you non-binary and a lesbian?
Identify as a woman, and a lesbian is a woman who loves another woman, then why would you not identify as queer? And yes, we're going to labels here, but like genuine curiosity, I'm trying to understand if a lesbian is no longer a woman who's sexually attracted to another woman, then a lesbian can be
Anybody.
anything.
Man. Which is literally what's happening.
Exactly. Thank you, ladies. Women like these are why other women have to share spaces with mentally unstable men.
How do they actually give out a degree for that? That's madness.
I was a gender and sexuality studies major at NYU, and I'm going to tell you what we read. Mr. Outsider by Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde is a pioneer of Black lesbian feminist thought, and this is a collection of her essays, speeches, and work over the years. White Mother to a Dark Race. This book unpacks how the United States and Australia are settler colonialist power. 6. Extinction. Book goes through how the Anthropocene and man-made climate change is the 6th great extinction.
Welcome to 2024, where people voluntarily waste their lives.
To them.
Come up to the mic and call me a racist to my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away? Come on up. Come on. Call me a racist.
You are a f***ing racist who does not have accurate statistics or facts.
What have I said that's not factual or not true, or anything that I've said that's racist? Name one thing.
Men used to hunt. Men used to go to war. Men used to build homes. Now, this is what they do.
Explain your domestic setup. You're married, is that right?
Yes, I'm in a multi-adult family. There's 3 of us that are raising 2 children, an 8-year-old and my 1-year-old.
And how would you describe yourself? You were born biologically male, or how would you describe
I'm non-binary. Yeah, I'm non-binary, which means that I don't identify as a man or a woman, and I use they/them pronouns.
Okay, and your wife or partner, is it a wife? How would you describe your other half?
All of the adults in my household identify as transgender or non-binary.
Right, and you're only married to one, or you're married to both?
Legally married to one.
Right.
In a relationship with another.
So the one you're legally married to, what is their name?
Bren.
Bren, and Bren identifies as?
A woman. Uses she, her.
And she was born a woman and remains identifying as a woman?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a woman.
Okay, and who's the third member of the setup?
My partner, Luna, who uses they/them pronouns as well.
And Luna is male or female? Or?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. And, okay, but you're not married to Luna?
No.
Okay, and you have 2 children in the house?
Yes.
What a great family. There is no mom or dad. The children are being raised by 3 adults with mental issues who claim to be gender neutral. This is a perfect family that will blossom happily in the society.
Okay, and just to clarify again, Sparrow, we don't know whether Sparrow was born male or female because you haven't said that, but Sparrow is now non-binary?
No, Sparrow is, I would say, anti-gender, which is a term, that means before gender. Like, all children, at this age are developmentally not able to really understand gender yet. It's just something that they don't have the understanding for. So it's not that the child is non-binary, it's that the child just doesn't have any gender yet.
Hold up, her 1-year-old is anti-gender. Who came up with these terms? Did the baby say that? Or did they decide that? What if the 1-year-old gets older and says she doesn't want to be gender neutral? Did they consider that?
People's interests or hobbies or preferences don't dictate what their gender is.
When did Hazel
having a preference?
Yeah, when did Hazel decide that she was no longer going to be a girl?
Hazel decided that they were non-binary when they were about 4. They had been exploring gender before that, trying on different pronouns, experimenting with different names, but they picked they/them pronouns and chose the name Hazel when they were 4
Ari,
years old.
with the greatest of respect, I have a 7-year-old daughter, right? When she was 4 years old, her main decision of the day was whether to watch Peppa Pig or Frozen. She had not a clue what about gender identity or non-binary or any of this stuff. And I put it to you that this wasn't Hazel's idea, was it? This was your idea. You decided that Hazel had gender issues that she needed to address, and you persuaded your daughter that she was no longer to be a girl, didn't she?
I mean, I personally don't agree with that assertion, but I can see how that could be misconstrued. I think that every family environment is unique.
Poor Hazel. I think this is pretty exhausting and confusing. She's a girl, but has to grow up thinking that she is non-binary when, surprise, she is actually a girl.
Sam is a they pronoun. Sorry, please finish.
Sam used to be a he too, right? We can't keep up with any of them. Demi Lovato used to be
Demi's
they, them.
Exhausted,
now
so
she's
funny,
a she again. He's been a he. He wants to be called they, them. He'll be back to being a he again.
It is so funny.
They can't make their minds up what they are.
Both of you are straight, and you're saying you're exhausted.
How do you know I'm straight? How dare you guess my sexuality?
Let's not play games here. It is exhausting.
I don't remember Tommy revealing her sexuality.
There are 72 countries in the world where it's illegal to be gay.
Yep, 1 minute I'm a she, the next a they, then next week a them. I can be anything I want as long as I feel like it.
Who's taking care of your kids right now?
Excuse me, are you trying to shame a working mother
Not
of
at all,
4
but you aren't telling
who's
us.
taking care of my kids right now? What an anti-feminist statement to make. In fact, I have an amazing spouse who
Anyone
homeschools
who's
my children.
pro-choice,
But if
welcome
my
outside.
children were in daycare right now, who are you to tell me that I'm not a good mother?
I'm not telling you you're not a good mother.
Oh, you just asked who are taking care of my children. Would you ask a man that? Would you have asked a man that? If a man was standing here, would you have said, who's at home taking care of your kids? No, you wouldn't. You asked me that because I was a woman. That's anti-feminist.
Face mask girl really thought she did something. Run, little one, run. That's not just anti-feminist Kristen, it's very misogynistic, and you should feel attacked and unsafe. You better call the police because that question was an act of violence against you and a potential threat to your family. You should call the cops.
Okay, can someone please tell me what about how I look right now makes you think I'm a girl? Like, don't even think about the voice, because, like, no, people at work yesterday, like, before even hearing my voice, they called me a she. So, like, what about how I look right now would make someone think that I'm a girl? Please be honest, because, like, it's driving me crazy. I'm about to start HRT. I'm raising money for that, so, like, Cash App in my bio, but, like, I'm doing everything I possibly can. I'm binding, I got my trans flag necklace, like, what else could I do? Like, what? I don't.
You could start by taking that mask off. Afterwards, rip off all that costume, the necklace, the binding tape, and whatever bulge that is in your pants. Finally go outside, sit on the grass, don't forget to touch some as you breathe air.
Reproductive justice is economic justice, close quote. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay. That's not true for the baby, is it?
Well, first of all, I would refer to a fetus, not
Yeah,
a baby.
but that's, well, a fetus. I refer to it as a baby. That's not true for the baby, is it?
The evidence that I presented to you, Senator Kennedy, was evidence about measurable effects on the lives of women, families.
Right, I got that part, but that's not true for the baby, is it? There is no economic justice for the baby because the baby's dead, right?
I wouldn't refer. I don't really know how to answer your question. I would refer to
was
a
the baby
fetus.
dead or alive?
We're referring to a fetus.
Okay, is the fetus dead or alive after an abortion?
The fetus would be dead after an abortion.
All right.
Whose cat keeps taking these people's tongues? Please give it back already. I need to hear their gibberish.
Okay with abortion because women have the right to choose whether or not they want to have a baby.
Does it end the life of a human being?
It ends the life of cells. It does not end the life of a Yeah, okay, so you're a clump of cells that has been developed over time, but once you leave the vagina, then you're a conscious human.
Why is abortion to you wrong at 9 months? Why are you personally against abortion?
Because fetus is about to come out of the vagina and it's gonna become an actual human. It's like almost fully formed.
When I had the ultrasound of my child, I wanted to get pictures of what she looked like at 25 weeks. She was fully formed. There's not a magical thing in the birth canal. You're like, oh, now as a human being, magically become a human being because you pass through a woman's birth canal. Because guess what? 2 of my kids never passed through my birth canal. I delivered C-section. Were they not human beings?
Is Fashion Week still going on? I believe this liberal is in the wrong place. If you like to walk, head to New York quickly. Hopefully the agenda of acceptance and diversity is still ongoing.
In your judgment, are voter ID laws racist? Professor Tolson.
Thank you for that question. So it depends. One thing we have to stop doing is treating all voter ID laws as the same.
Okay, so your answer, I want to move quickly, so it depends is your answer?
Yes, it does. That's my answer.
Okay, so what voter ID laws are racist?
Apologies, Mr. Cruz, your state of Texas, perhaps?
Okay, so you think the entire state of Texas is racist. What about requiring an ID to vote is racist?
So I think, sir, that's pretty reductive. I'm not saying the entire state of Texas is racist.
You just said my state of Texas, so you tell me, what about the Texas voter ID laws is racist?
So the fact that the voter ID law was put into place to diminish the political power of Latinos.
35 states across the country disagree with that because 35 states have voter ID laws in effect. But not just 35 states. 81% of voters in America disagree with the radical views proposed by the Democrats and the Democratic witnesses. Not just 81% of Americans. 77% of black voters in America support voter ID law. 78% of Hispanic voters in America support voter ID law. 81% of low-income Americans support voter ID law. And yet, what this bill is about is putting radicals in charge of saying if you require an ID to vote, that is racist and must be struck down. This is all about partisan power.
Hold a second, shouldn't the people who are given the power to choose the leaders of their country be citizens of that country? That's like a guest choosing what's for dinner while the homeowners just stare. Is this a joke?
What would you say to feminists who are in support of trans women being able to access historically women's spaces like female bathrooms and being able to participate in women's sports?
Let me ask you a question. What is cheating?
What is cheating? Somebody using their power against the weak.
Got it. Is Leah Thomas or William Thomas biologically stronger than the competitors that she was against?
I don't know about that specific situation.
Won the national title.
Yes.
Okay.
Won the national title.
After the transition, right? Okay. Is that fair?
Yes.
So the other women against the man were born with less bone density, lower testosterone levels. What are they supposed to do to make it even?
I would not know on that specific situation.
Got it. And you're a feminist?
I am.
Who are you trying to
Still
protect?
true.
I believe a lot of actual women will agree that she is not a feminist because she is fighting for a man's rights and not women's rights.
Respect my man shit. Same thing with the trans shit. Oh, you're a girl, you're a guy, a trans woman. You're a guy. Now, something happened in your groin area. You know this shit is fucked up. You gotta go to the doctor and you got 10 minutes. Go this way, you go to gynecologist. This way is urologist. Which fucking way you going? You go to gynecologist, your ass is dead. Cause she said, I can't do shit for you. You gotta go to the urologist. Now that's 20 minutes away now, you dead. Bruh. That's the bullshit. I ain't buying into the bullshit. People talking about believe my shit cause I believe it. You saying fuck that shit? Yeah, if that's the shit, then I'm your master. So whenever you call me, my pronoun is your master, or just master. So I say, hey master, yeah, that's it. If you want me to call you her or him and shit.
Exactly. When push comes to shove, you end up picking a side. Just one. It is either a gynecologist or a urologist.
Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct, is a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? You know, cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, that maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not myself.
You used the word, so what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right. So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
that describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently.
Isn't it amazing how a woman is being defined as a feeling? It's simple biology. A woman is a woman because of her XX chromosomes. She is not a feeling peculiar to different people.
Really?
Kids, be careful what you watch these days. Wokies have gotten bolder and crazier.
Hi everyone, I'm Ezra Frisch, they, them. I just want to take 5 seconds to acknowledge my white privilege. Just a moment of silence for everyone. I just want to make sure I'm working for an organization that aligns with my values. So you mentioned that you guys don't have plans for Black History Month.
I didn't say that we don't have plans. I said that the memo is yet to be.
It's just like the 6th,
shared.
6th of February already. Name one black inventor. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
This is not the structure of the interview.
I just want to know the team.
Okay,
I mean,
you're asking the question as if you've been offered the job.
you can't name one black inventor. You cannot name one black inventor. This is a for-profit.
So I think you need to do some reevaluating.
Are you
I asked politely now.
Were you
that you
laughing?
leave?
Do you think this is funny?
This interview.
Yeah, don't hire woke people.
It's simple. If you want a place where all your woke values can be heard and respected, then you should either work for a woke organization, be quiet, or stay unemployed.
What is carbon dioxide?
I went to high school, but that's carbon dioxide is a gas.
Okay.
I'm not a professional to talk about carbon dioxide so much, but
Well, you want us to abolish it, right?
no, there's always going to be carbon dioxide.
Right. Let me back up, because I want to, I mean, you're here as an expert. Tell me more about what carbon dioxide is.
I'm here as an expert cross-country skier who sees the changes in my winters and the landscape that I live in Alaska. And so carbon dioxide is what I see it as is, it's a gas that exists in our atmosphere. And
What? Is it the major part of our atmosphere? Or?
it's a huge part of our atmosphere, yes.
It's actually a very small part of our atmosphere.
Even an elementary student knows what CO2 is. How can you go to a conference to argue about something you know absolutely nothing about? It's bewildering, it's embarrassing, it's hilarious.
And there's all these issues, misgendering and so on. What do you make of the wider thing of Dylan Mulvaney, this cultural phenomenon now in America, basically sending up what it means to be a woman?
I think it's absolutely appalling to give credit and credence to a person who's mocking women. Dylan Mulvaney, I don't think is serious whatsoever. At a gay man who has a lust for fame, fortune, he walks around with a 5 o'clock shadow and dresses up in women's clothes and mocks women. I have never in my life seen a woman act like Dylan Mulvaney.
Did you watch the Barbie movie? What are you talking about? What?
You're talking
And
about
who
a
are you
movie.
to
I'm talking
talk
about
about
people in
who
real
a
life.
woman is? You're
Real
a man.
life.
This is
Well, who are
absolute
you-
nonsense.
who are you to talk about?
I'm not telling anyone who a woman is.
We're
Sit back.
saying that we should get rid of sporting categories altogether. Do you support the idea of eliminating the Paralympics versus the Olympics?
I think that's a really great question, and I need to look into that.
That's very ablephobic.
I've said a load of crap.
Well, so have you.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I understand physiology and sport.
Well, good for you.
You don't.
Good for you, but you don't understand loving a human being.
What an amusing way to gaslight. He didn't have any more points, then he decided to use being compassionate for humans to gaslight. Also, he did not just use Barbie to compare a woman. Very comical.
Concerning why they randomly started saying
Why
that.
would that be concerning? Would it be concerning because they're suffering clearly from something which is a delusion?
I mean, I'm not going to air that.
What do you mean you're not going to answer that? Why would it be concerning if one of your family members came to you and said that they were a black man if they were a white woman? Why would that be concerning to you?
Again, I don't know why this is such a honed in conversation. I really just, to be nice, I don't like saying a crazy opinion on this because
Yeah,
I think
already know what your feelings are in the matter. I asked you a question.
I think race and gender are different.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Why would it be of concern to you?
Because they are not that race.
Right, they are not that thing. So you would think what? Why would them not being that thing be of concern to you?
That's a good question. I don't know why it would be concerning.
But then why did you just say you would be concerned by it?
I would be concerned because they are identifying as a race that they're not.
Right, so they're lying to you. That's what the concern
lie
is. You know that they're lying to you, so that would spring delusion inside of your brain. You would say they were delusional. There's no other reason you could possibly give for why that would be concerning. And if you can, I'd love to hear it.
But delusion and a lie is a little bit different, don't you think? A liar, a good liar is whatever, but someone who's actually delusional and is having a mental crisis is very different.
What do you consider it to be delusional if one of your family members who was a white woman came over to you and said that they were a black man?
Yeah, I think it's delusional at that point.
Yes, exactly. It's delusional because
don't
they're lying
think-
to you and telling you that there's something that they are not.
What
Why
if
would
they
the same
believe it?
thing not apply to sex? I'm so confused.
It's still delusional. Delusion is believing your own lie.
Yes.
This is very funny. She was humbled and she literally admitted to being delusional and a liar without even realizing it. That's what you get for being blindly brainwashed.
Hi, I thought you had some really good points, but I just wanted to ask you about hybrids and stuff because I'm here studying biology, and so we've learned a lot about genetic mutations and disorders and such, and there actually are hermaphrodite human beings where they have both ovaries and testicles, and that, I have it right here. It's actually a medical condition called ovotesticular disorder, and there are also other genetic disorders where people are born with XXY, XY, or just X or just Y and such. And while it may seem rare, there are hundreds of thousands of people born with this each year. And so going off of your fairy tale hybrid people, they do exist. And so I'm just wondering how that would play into your view of there being a spectrum of gender, because
these are people who can get pregnant and also impregnate someone else?
Yes. Hermaphrodites, they have both ovaries and testicles.
No. If such a person existed, that would certainly, I would not include that part in my next speech. But such a person does not exist. Now, intersex and now the genetic deformities you're talking about obviously do exist, and I expected someone to bring that up in the Q&A. I think it's a fine point to bring up. Two things I would say to that. Number one, that actually has nothing to do with transgenderism, because when when we talk about transgender, we're talking specifically about intersex people, then we would just say intersex. But with transgender, most of the time, we're talking about men who, they don't have any deformity. They are just straight up men, clearly, and they are identifying as a woman.
At least we learned that no human can impregnate themselves by themselves, not even a hermaphrodite. Isn't that amazing?
How would you define a woman? Because you've asked other people up here to define how we would define a woman. How would you define a woman, Mr. Walsh?
An adult human female.
And how don't trans people, how doesn't a transgender woman fit that definition?
Female. Because they're not female.
Can someone give these people a dictionary? Trans women are not women nor female. They are simply men trying to be women.
So what you're saying is that a quote-unquote trans woman is a female?
By the definitions I'm familiar with, yes.
So how would you define female?
Through my training in healthcare, there are several different categories for how we define sex. People bring up chromosomes. People also bring up hormone levels. People bring up all sorts of other categories. Lots of people don't fit neatly into a gender binary, even people we don't consider to be intersex. It's a complicated spectrum.
It's not complicated, but you also didn't define. So what is a woman? What is a female? What do these words mean?
It's complicated, and I know you're not going to like that answer.
You complicated it, no one else did. You are either a male or a female. Listen, wokies, gender or sex isn't a complicated spectrum. Just sit down and reason clearly with the facts. It's a natural and scientific thing. Your chromosomes dictate your sex and gender.
There are male gametes and female gametes. Oh, I had one last question. I just have one quick. Can you come back for 1 second? Because this is an important question. You said you're an EMT.
Yes.
Okay, if you're responding to a health emergency. Biological male, somebody with a penis, is having a medical emergency, and they say to you, "I think I'm having a miscarriage." Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
Look. No, but that's because some people don't have body parts.
Wait a minute. He or she agrees that a biological male can't have a miscarriage? Shocking.
Are coming across the border every day. A lot. So about 10 to 15,000 a day. Do you think Joe Biden...
they're all going to vote Dem.
You're okay. Can you say that again? The illegals? Well, illegals. Yeah, they're coming here. They're going to vote Democrat, and we're going to win. So you are admitting that you're admitting the border is a political tactic by the Democrat Party. Joe Biden is opening the floodgates of this country because he wants to hold on to political power. We've been saying this for a long time. Proof. You just admitted it. What is he doing to secure the border? When you have 15,000 people a day coming across your southern border, who cares? That is not a mistake. Who cares? But who cares? Do you believe in borders? I believe that. No borders. No. One world government.
That sounds like a terrific idea. Let's have no borders and one government for 195 countries. Forget about security. Forget about the people. Let's just rule the world.
Narcissism, sexual narcissism, the trans pushing, gender affirming butchers and liars primarily target young people whose most likely outcome on the sexual front is homosexuality. I don't like the flag. I think it's a piece of idiocy. I don't understand why it changes every bloody week. And I think the surgery, the gender affirming care movement, I think it is Nazi Auschwitz level awful.
Finally, someone who makes actual sense. Why does my gender have to be based on my feelings? How can I even say I'm one thing in a moment and the next I'm not? Doesn't that mean I lied the first time?
You're an asshole.
Would you like to have a conversation?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off because you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
What have I ever said that's racist?
Oh, what?
Can you name one thing?
I'm Hispanic.
Can I support Charlie? Can you name
Does that mean anything?
Can you name a second thing I've ever said that's racist?
I think you're just trying to play a game, and I think this is obviously going to be used.
What have I ever said that's hateful?
I just want to hate you. You're awful. Get off my campus.
When have I ever said anything that's hateful? Have a nice day. He can't say anything I've ever said that's racist, because I've never said anything that's racist. That is the American left in one picture, everybody. Lots of rage and no wisdom.
That's unfortunate. At least be smart enough to defend your argument.
Give me one good reason Caitlin Clark can't play in the NBA.
Height, weight, speed, vertical agility, strength. Caitlin Clark would not be able to play for her own men's basketball team, let alone an NBA team.
Quick question, if trans women are women, why is there a need for them to be called trans women? Oh, I know, because they are not actually women. They have XY chromosomes, male anatomy, and biological features that make it obvious that their participation in women's sports is unfair.
Love each other!
I do love you.
Jesus he never said nothing about homosexuality. He taught about love. Love each other as you are. As God made you. He made you in his image. We are all gay because that's how he made us, baby.
Did God make a murderer a murderer? Did God make someone who lied a liar?
Yes.
Did God make God made liars a liar? No. So God gives us free will.
Bless you, move on.
God gives us free will.
You know, in my Bible, God created only two genders, male and female. He didn't make anyone gay, a murderer, or a liar, and the rainbow didn't mean LGBTQIA plus whatever.
Do you think currently that transgender men have to sign up for selective service?
Are they assigned male or female at birth?
They're assigned female at birth.
Yeah.
They don't.
Okay.
So what you have just demonstrated is that even if we're talking about the trans agenda, that trans men, they're still not equal with trans women.
Because they're men.
If that's true, then how come they don't have to sign up for selective
They
service?
should have to because they're men. Yes.
So then shouldn't trans women be exempt under this?
Yes.
Even though they're biologically males?
No, trans women are women.
Biologically male.
Trans women are women.
Yeah, but biologically they're males.
Trans women are women.
You're
They're
not saying
women.
anything.
They're
Something very specific.
biologically whatever, they're women.
So what you're saying here is trans men who are born female should have to sign up for the draft, but that the ones who are assigned man at birth, they should be exempt from the draft.
Yes.
Then biological men, if they say they're women, they don't have to get drafted.
Sure, throw that equal rights amendment up there and we're all equal and draft.
Check her Instagram bio, it definitely says feminist, but that feminism is only catered to men. Oh wow, this is what the youngsters call a pick-me. Guess how that ended?
I have obviously bitten off more than I can chew.
No, you're good.
No.
Oh, you're doing great. Don't worry about it. You're a legend. You're a
Thank
legend.
you.
You came in guns blazing. You're doing great.
I tried. No, I really do appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Wait, we gotta get through at least all your notes.
No.
Hold on.
Can this be a respectful quit?
Wait, you can't just
I'm
leave.
I'm not crying. I'm tired. That's
You're
why.
tired?
Yeah, I've been up since like 3 a.m.
Listen, but at least hear the offer.
They hung this in our community. We want it off the polls. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man. Yes. And in here, coming up in here, acting like y'all representatives of social justice.
Say that,
but all along, all you're doing is trying to use black people to find a reason to make some money. You leave the Democratic Party. Do just like RFK Jr., just do like that Tulsa lady. You better.
Imagine if Republicans had something similar hung next to some LGBTQ poster. They would cry assault and attempted murder. Well, at least you see who is really on your side now. Better late than never.
We're going to call the abortion facility and I'm going to tell them I'm pregnant with a 32-week fetus, as you say. Hi, I just turned 32 weeks pregnant. Am I able to come in for an abortion ASAP?
I wouldn't be able to see you for the week of the 23rd, so that would put you at 34 weeks.
Can I still have an abortion at 34 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I just have to do an intake form. Do you have about 5 minutes?
Sure, I have 5 minutes. Yeah, I just found out that she could have Down syndrome. I can still have the abortion, right? Even though she has Down syndrome?
Yeah, so we just have to do an intake because the doctor...
It doesn't matter. That's late-term abortion, ma'am. That's abortion in the 8th month of pregnancy that's discriminatory based on someone's genetic code. She just confirmed she would commit an abortion on me with my child who's
Earlier, she said no one wanted or performed late-term abortions just like her presidential candidate. When faced with facts, she didn't change her mind. Who else is not surprised? Bloodthirsty and out if control is what they are.
Get the my face now!
Ooh,
now!
That was very rude of you.
Get the my face!
Do you want to go to jail? Sir, ma'am, I don't really know what to call you.
You're fucking done, man.
I'm done.
Get the fucking police, you just insulted me.
Well, listen here, pal. I mean, you are gonna go to jail.
And I could fucking tell the police to get you.
I'm vegan, so don't say that. Listen.
Tell me, He-Man, you really get the fuck out of my way right now.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
You do not have a release. I will sue you.
You're gonna sue him? Don't sue him, man, because we're trying to just...
You do not have a release. If you... I will destroy you. I will destroy you.
Just keep going on. I got my crew with me now. I got my crew. Yeah! Yeah! What's up?
Wow, didn't your mom teach you any manners? That behavior is not very ladylike.
You cannot change your biological sex. It's physically impossible.
I'm saying to you,
it is impossible
it's a legal reality
it is
that you can.
This thing is about sport. This is about males and females.
Well, the problem when we talk about biology is neither of us are scientists, but
you don't need to be a scientist to know male and woman.
You and I both know that it's a lot more complicated than that.
What's the complication?
It's not as simple as, for you it may be very simple, but we're indulging in ignorance by not suggesting that there is more to it than that.
Can you become male?
I don't want to be a male.
But can you become male? Is there anything that could be done that could turn you into a male in the way that I'm male and Piers is male? Is that possible?
See, now, do you see how you've qualified your question? So you first asked me, can I become a male? And I would suggest probably yes, in terms of medically. But then you said, like you and Piers.
You can't, because male is a sex.
I can have gender recognition, can't I? I can legally become a male.
This is just clear that woke people aren't smart. How do you participate in an argument and you don't have facts to back up your claims? Very silly.
Referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing.
Oh, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important.
Because of my line of questioning?
Because
so we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning?
class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
She is so confused. She is struggling to win the argument so much, but the only statement in her head is, "You're transphobic. You lost already." She might learn a lot.
Damn, I'm smooth.
Both genders? Both? Like 1 and 2? Both? There's 2 genders?
She just played herself there. You have an opinion of the existence of more than 2 genders, but still say you can attract 2 genders. What should we call this? A mistake or confusion? Either ways, she was humbled.
But why do I have to be proud of your sexuality?
Why are you so triggered by a flag?
I'll tell
It's
you
a
what
rainbow
problem.
flag.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag.
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight
Where's
everywhere?
my straight flag?
Why am I constantly
Where
getting
is
straight?
my straight flag? When have you ever seen a straight flag? Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
It's never been a straight flag.
Both of you are straight, and you're saying you're exhausted.
How do you know I'm straight? How dare you guess my
For God's
sexuality?
sake, like, let's not play games here.
How many letters are there now in
That's
the
such
official?
a pointless question.
How many are there?
I don't even know.
How many are there?
I don't need
exactly
to know.
my point.
I don't need to know because it's not about
There
the
are so
letters.
many letters now, we can't keep up with it.
It's not.
Valid question there. How do you know a straight flag? Morgan uses his words against him and he says, "Let's not play games here. If this is a game, it's a very amusing one."
TikTok every day showing us how big you are.
Yeah, and look,
and you're proud of it.
No. There's a difference. There's proud, and then there's just being positive in my own skin, and that's what I am.
Right.
I'm not proud to be fat.
Would you
I'm not proud
accept?
to...
Would you accept that by medical definition you are morbidly obese?
Look, if that's what medically you want to call it, then call it.
Well,
It's
no,
fine,
you
it's
know
fine.
your weight. I don't.
No. But that's you could say that. Yeah.
Right. So here's
You could
my
say
issue
that.
with this body positivity thing. People shouldn't be celebrating being morbidly obese, in my estimation.
That's
because actually it is a dangerous condition that causes many people to die.
Instead of finding a medical solution to obesity, he calls it skin positivity. There's no point arguing. His weight does the talking.